Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Does Play's Shots Fired. I'm Lockdog, and joining me for tonight, yet again, back. He wasn't here last week, but he's back from the first episode. Benny Sim, how's it going, Benny? And how have you seen the last, I guess, week of COD since we saw the last episode?
Yeah, thanks for having me yet again, Lockdog, and Does Play for this great series. I did watch it last week, and it was very entertaining, as it always is, giving us the updates and so forth we need around the community. But as you said, yeah, we've had a few tournaments in the past week, not just here in Australia, but also overseas. You had UMG Dallas just completed on the weekend, Lock.
Yeah, you did, and we've also had the ACL Leagues, another week of that, another week of the DPL, and also we will have, in this episode anyway, some predictions for the upcoming Does Play 10K. Obviously, I've done my predictions. Benny, I'll get you to do yours. I'll put you on the spot live on stream. And also, we've got Viper's prediction. Iron Viper from Integral Nation, the owner of that org, has kindly given us his top 8 prediction for that LAN as well. So guys, we're going to jump straight into some Australian Call of Duty first. We're going to have a look at the ACL Call of Duty League and see exactly how that is currently progressing. So we'll bring up the standings, and Benny, I think I'll leave it over to you to take us through the first few teams.
Yeah, certainly. It's no surprise to see Plantronics Mindfreak and Integral Nation up those top 2 spots, just separated by the map wins, as you see, 27-14 to 25-17 for Integral Nation. So some pretty strong squads, those two. To finish out the top 4, you do have Uproar IG, which consists of Killerpot, Hydra, Bakabek, and Hysteria, who recently joined that team there. So another, yet again, pretty strong team, especially coming from New Zealand. And then to finish that off, we've got a bit of a young team, Tranquility. So you've probably seen most of these players play at the and so forth. I believe Woofy, Barney, and Blue all were for that Avant squad, and Susan come across from IG. So top 4 are very strong teams, but there's a few that are missing out that you'd suspect to be pushing them. But it's probably one of the best competition we've had for quite some time. I mean, you got Skyfire. Look at those 4 players: Jake, Excite, Lakey, and Hopi. Hopi, the experienced player there, but the other 3 are quite talented. And then you've got Mega and Avant-Garde, who are also 6th and 7th. So those 3 are sort of fighting for that 4th place, I believe, and it's going to only 1 week left. Is that correct, Locke? And it's going to be difficult for them to start pushing into that.
Yeah, they're going to have to definitely step up. Any league that has Avant-Garde, Damage, Chilean, Beaston, and Iscardo, any league that has that team 7th is obviously a pretty strong league. We've got, as you said, Plantronics, Mindfreak, Integral, Ignitions, Tranquility, top 4, and then Skyfire. I believe they have made a roster change, but officially that is the roster in terms of ACL, or what ACL has given us so far. So officially in terms of the league, that's what the roster is. I believe they have been playing with subs a little bit. Same with Mega. I'm not 100% sure whether Lambo has still been playing with them. I'm pretty sure that Eminence, Mace, and Resonix are their core 3, and then they've been playing with subs as well. So that's the 5th and 6th teams. So it's surprising to actually see that Mega have been able to jump up from the last couple of weeks. I gave them a little bit of roast on stream last week with the Shots Fired program, and I think that they definitely responded to that. I said that I can't really see Mega going too far further into the league. They were sitting 7th at the time, and I didn't see them getting past even 6th and getting closer to that top 4. So they're moving up. They're only 3 maps behind Skyfire. They're only 1 series win behind the team of Tranquility. So they definitely have their chance to get into this top 4 and push for a final spot as well. So I'm pretty keen to see what they can do as well, how they respond. And obviously 8th, we got to talk about them: Team Awafi, Flares, Nimble, Dean, and Rival. It's been a lot of roster changes throughout this league for that team, and it really does show. 1-10 is their win-loss in terms of series, and they've only won 6 maps the entire competition. And it's just really not this season for them, I guess.
Yeah, certainly. You wouldn't say they're performing too well, unfortunately, but expected. I mean, you got to look at the competition they're coming up against. You don't expect to win every map, and so freak integral nation at the top there. It's going to be hard for them to sort of compete against those teams, especially having frequent roster changes. But as you said earlier, it's surprising to see the Avant-Garde down there in 7th with that roster there. But Mega definitely jumped up. I know they did forfeit a few games early in the season. No, sorry, forfeit a few games due to the roster issues and so forth. But it looks like they've got a steady roster now, which will hopefully work out for them and potentially push that 4th spot there of Tranquility, which is they're currently holding. But you'd say the top 3 teams are pretty well safe at this stage. I mean, things can always occur. You know, they might lose a game here or there, but you'd say those 3 pretty secure to finish off the season in those top 3 spots.
Yeah, you definitely think so, and Tranquility is probably, as you said, the only one that's in danger of dropping out. Skyfire hot on their heels along with Mega. They can definitely jump in. Avant-Garde, they've got a slight chance of getting there, but to be honest, I can't see them making it either, and that's a big thing to say. A team with the lineup that they have not going to be able to even get close to a top 4 in Call of Duty League that really has been the pro league for Australian or ANZ Call of Duty so far, and it really does give us a little bit of an indication going into the lands of who's going to perform, who's not going to perform. But then again, there have been so many, I guess, differences on LAN, online, and just in different teams and different comps on this game that you can never really tell who's going to be coming out on top. So I still think, as you said, anything can happen in that league. The top 6 definitely very, very close. Avant-Garde very close in 7th. Could jump in. And then Awafi just struggling there in 8th. But that pretty much wraps up to ACL Call of Duty League. I don't have a list of next week's matches, so make sure to go follow at ACL Pro for all your updates on the ACL Call of Duty League, because there will be matches Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hopefully they will all, or at least some of them, will be streamed during the week, and you guys can go and get your Call of Duty fix on Tuesday and Thursday as well. Obviously, later on tonight, we will also have the Does Play Pro Series. It is the 1-year anniversary for Does Play, so it is a big occasion for us as well. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later, and we'll go in depth with what's coming up for Does Play and what's happened with Does Play over the last year in later on in the show. But for now, I think we will go to our international scene. We'll have a look at exactly what has happened over in America, and we've got the MLG League, which hasn't really changed too much. We've had a couple of matches since last week, but the big talking point, UMG Dallas, we'll bring that up on screen. We'll bring the top 8 up, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at exactly who was able to get in that top 8. Obviously, FaZe taking out that grand final. I'm sure everyone watched that one over Optic Gaming, and that was a really dominant win, Benny. But teams like Epsilon NA, who are currently sitting last in the MLG League, TCM, who have won their last couple of matches but still only sitting middle of the table in the league as well, they're able to come 4th and 5th at this LAN. Definitely stepped up huge. And VVV Gaming, not a team that's in the MLG Pro League, they were able to sneak in and get in the top 8. Fizzerp, John, Felony, and Fears definitely stepping up at that event. But so there was a lot of good matches. Did you have a favourite, Benny?
Yeah, certainly. I'm a bit of an Optic Gaming fanboy, so I was definitely on their bandwagon there. Did watch a few of their matches throughout the weekend just gone. Especially, I think I watched both series against Epsilon, and I think Epsilon were able to secure a couple of maps off them. So, very strong squad. Obviously, you've got Swanee in there with that AR, plus Remy, Nuggafant, and Royalty, who I saw him play on stream, and he plays with some pretty high sensitivity, but he seems to work it to his advantage. And yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to see FaZe Clan come out on top. Obviously, it's a new roster with them. You've got Clayster, Enable, Zoomer, and Attach. So 3 of those members, or it might have been 2. I know Clayster and Attach did take out COD champs. So pretty strong roster, and obviously Optic Gaming second. A lot of people would have been surprised with that finish there. Most would have put them favourite to finish top spot there, as they've won the last 3 lands, I believe, over in North America. So good performance coming out of FaZe to knock them off and secure that good old prize money plus first place.
Yeah, well, that Epsilon versus Optic Gaming quarter-final it was, and Epsilon actually knocked Optic Gaming into the losers bracket 3-1. So that was to be honest, a pretty strong win by them. A 3-1 win against anyone's fairly strong, and Epsilon taking down Optic Gaming, which is the bottom team versus the top team in the MLG COD League, and the bottom team comes out on top in terms of that particular match when they came up against each other. Other than that, though, a lot of the matches were pretty well. You could pick them as they came through. Obviously, FaZe and Envy played against each other in the semi-finals. FaZe able to take that 3-0, and then Denial took Epsilon 3-0 in the semi-finals. In the winners bracket final, it was again a 3-0 to FaZe. FaZe were just dominant throughout the entire event, and they also 3-0'd Optic in the grand final. So they just continued to win map after map. The only map they lost in bracket play was against Isolation Esports, who did end up coming equal 7th with VVV, so they did play very well at the event, able to take a map off FaZe. They were the only team to do so in bracket play, so some quality games there from them. I've got to say also Optic Nation, I'm not sure what happened to them. I wasn't able to watch too much of day one, but 17th to 20th, they were equal with teams like Geared for Gaming, Tactical Turtles Esports, and Stunner Gaming. Not names you usually put next to Optic Nation in terms of placements at any LAN in the US.
Yeah, certainly a bit of a surprising performance coming out of those. Obviously, they recently did make a roster change. I think they picked up Machilla, and didn't pay off for them. And I'm sure they'd be pretty disappointed with their performance. They've actually had some poor performances in the past few events, so be interesting to see whether they make yet again another roster change. As you said, they finished with some teams that you've probably never heard of. I've never heard of myself. So poor performance coming out of Optic Gaming there, but there was really no surprise. I mean, you look at Team Envy. It's a nice strong. They've had Aqua and Octane. I was surprised to see them finish 6th there with Looney, who actually played pretty well. I forget what the last tournament was, but he kept his team. I don't know whether he was on Team Envy or not, but he's been having a good little patch at the moment. So, and then you've got the likes of JCap to finish that off. I was surprised to see them finish 6th, but I think you said they got knocked out by Denial or FaZe, one of the two. So, at the end of the day, if you're coming up against teams like that, you don't expect to finish too highly. But yeah, no, definitely a good event to watch as a spectator, and I enjoyed the streams when I had a chance to watch them.
Yeah, definitely, as you said, Envy had a difficult run in their bracket play. They were able to beat Elevate 3-1 in the quarterfinal, but the semi-final, winners bracket round 2, they played up against FaZe, got 3-0'd, and then they went down into the losers bracket, and they came into the line of fire with Optic Gaming after they got beaten by Epsilon. They were in the losers bracket from round 4 onwards. They smacked TK 3-0. They beat Isolation 3-1, and then they just rampaging towards the grand final berth. So Envy was the next target off the rank, and I think that's a lot of the reason why Envy were knocked out there. If it was the other way around and OG were the ones to knock Epsilon down into the losers bracket, I feel like Envy probably would have had the probably a stronger lineup out of those two teams, but you know, you never know. It's always a pretty open thing. You never know who's going to win a match at LAN. That's the beauty of it. All the teams level, you know, it's all even, and they can go as hard as they want at each other. And teams surprise you. Epsilon obviously, and TCM. They definitely surprised me. Swanee coming in and finishing in the top 4 with Remy, Nugafan and Royalty was probably my big surprise of that tournament. But yeah, UMG Dallas was pretty interesting. Again, a little quirk. Rod Squad was able to get into. There was a few teams actually that were in the group play, the pro group play. XGN was in there, Rod Squad was in there, and teams. There were other teams that were already in the league, teams that were probably should be in the league, like Orbit. They didn't get put in a pro pool, even though they're in the MLG Pro League, which is interesting. Just obviously a little bit of anomaly there with the pro points. But Orbit, speaking of Orbit, we'll go have a look at exactly those MLG Pro League standings from this week. And Orbit currently sitting 6th there, so they are doing extremely well for their first time into the league as an organisation, which is a very, very good effort. But have a look at that. Optic Gaming up the top yet again. Denial Esports right behind them. And Optic Nation, who had a very, very poor Dallas, but they are still in the top 3 in the Pro League and keen to continue on with their form at the moment. I'm not sure if you've got this this screen, Benny, but basically running through it, not a lot has changed. Optic still dominating, Denial still dominating. Neither have lost a series as of yet. Optic have only lost 5 maps out of their 5 games, and Denial have only lost 3 maps out of their 4 games. So just dominance from them, and Epsilon still yet to find their first win, 0-5 at the moment, and the top 4 placing at a LAN probably going to help out their confidence a fair bit. I'd definitely say that they can step up there as well.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't have that screen in front of me at the moment. Locke, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really been following this scene over there at the moment in NA, but one name I didn't hear say before was TK. We'll go back to Dallas, sorry to interrupt the season there, but how did they actually perform? I hear you mentioned them in the top 12 there.
Yeah, TK did end up finishing equal 9th, 9-12,
okay,
with Elevate, Rod Squad, and Rise Nation. So they did have an okay event. Obviously, Rod Squad was another surprise there, coming equal with those squads. Nelson, Assault, Wolf, and Ken. Haven't really heard of those names before around the NA scene. They definitely stepped up and I guess did an E6 and came out of nowhere and just decided that they would put a stamp on their competition. Obviously not quite making the same impact, but still putting up a fight against teams like Team Caliber, Rise Nation, Elevate, teams that are in the Pro League, and I think they played very well. Obviously TK, Elevate, and Rise Nation, they're all down the bottom. They're 9th, 10th, and 11th in the Pro League. They, I guess, came 9th, 10th, and 11th at Dallas as well. So sitting, I guess, where you would expect.
Yeah, certainly, as you said, they're not performing too well online, and the same in the LAN situation. So not real much movement from them teams there. But as you said, the competition at the top there, I think it's extremely hard for those sort of teams to compete against them. You just got to look at some of the names throughout the teams. I mean, you got Scump, Clayster in the top 2 teams there also, and you got the young guns, Hugh and Slasher for Denial. So it's always going to be pretty hard for those lower tier teams to compete against them. And haven't really heard much of Rise Nation recently, but it's interesting to see that they're still competing at that top level. I don't have their roster in front of me at the moment, so I really can't
Chino, Wheats, Goonjar, and TJ is the roster. They're currently 1-3, and 3-10 in terms of maps. So the one game they did win, they're the only maps they've won, and the 3 other games that they've played, they've obviously got 3-0'd, and they got the 3-1 victory in their other match there. So they haven't really been playing real well online, and they did end up getting a win, but still it's struggle street, I guess, for them. They did okay at LAN, obviously, but they definitely can improve from where they are.
Yeah, certainly. And you mentioned the last name there, TJ. I think he's one of the up-and-coming superstars of the Call of Duty scene over in North America. So interesting to see those guys sort of performing poor, you could say. I guess 1-3 in the current standings, and losing 3 matches 3-0. It's losing 3 matches 3-0. It's not what you expect from a team of that sort of caliber. I mean, they do have Goonjar in there. Probably not one of the best sort of players you'd say in the scene. Well, that's my personal opinion, but it's interesting to see him performing at that sort of standard with players like Kay in that team.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's pretty much what we've everything we've covered in terms of the American scene. We've had a look at the MLG Pro League. We've had a look at Dallas, and I think everyone knows exactly what's happened there. It's FaZe that were able to take out the grand final 3-0 over Optic Gaming, which was a very, very impressive game. Denial obviously coming in the 3rd place in the bronze medal there for themselves there at Dallas. 2015. But we will, I think, go to a quick break here on Shots Fired. And when we come back, we're going to be talking everything does play. We've got our DPL results and upcoming matches. We've got our 10K predictions, our 10K promos, and also, most importantly, our 1 year anniversary is today. As of today, was 1 year ago exactly when we first started off Does Play, and it was the first ever competition that we ran. So it is definitely something that we want to celebrate. Obviously, we've had a lot of comps on tonight, so we are going to go through those comps, exactly what we've been doing over the last year, and give you some insight on exactly what we're going to do over the next year. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Shots Fired, presented by Does Play. I'm Lockdog. Joining me is Benny Sim, and as I said, we're going to go through everything Does Play now here on Shots Fired. First up, we are going to have a look at exactly what you just saw there. Who will win the 10K? That is the question. Who's attending is also the question that we're asking. We've obviously got 4 teams currently signed up. I'll have a look at exactly who they are now. But, Benny, I'm going to start off with you. I'm going to put you on the spot. And who do you have? Obviously, let's assume that all the top teams in ANZ COD are attending. Who are your predictions for the top, let's say 4 for you on the spot, for the Does Play 10K LAN on the Gold Coast?
Oh, it's always sort of name some teams off the top of my head, but you do have to put Plantronics Mind Freak in there straight up. So they've won majority of the land, well, actually probably all the lands in Australia. So you'd have to put them in the top 4, and this is in no particular order. You'd probably have to go with the Trident team, or as I should say, the Avant team now. Sorry, who did previously finish second at ACL Sydney. No, my apologies. Well, they finished second at Sydney, so I'll say those boys there. Top 4, so another 2 teams.
Yeah.
Well, you've got IG, you've got the new SKF team. Well, you've got the Integral Nation squad, Tranquility.
Do you want me to help you out and bring up my predictions for the 10K? I'll bring that up on screen right now. And we'll have a look at exactly what I think is going to happen at the 10K. This is assuming that all these teams have the same roster that they do currently, and they're all going to the 10K as that roster. So I think that Plantronics Mind Freak, they're such a good team on LAN. They obviously they were beaten by Integral Nation in the ACL 5K on the weekend, but I don't think that that's going to be a major point for Plantronics Mind Freak. I think they're just going to be too strong for all the other teams. Second, I've actually got the Integral Nation squad coming. I don't know why. I just feel like they're building towards a big LAN. Then third, I've got your boys, Benny, the Avant-Garde, and in fourth, this is my top four. Uproar IG, I think they've shown that they can perform at LAN consistently, and I think they'll place top four.
I think you've made a mistake there, Lockie. You said the Avant Boys third. They should be first. But yeah, I've put my predictions in the chat, guys. So should you. I'm going to go with the Avant, Mind Freak, Integral Nation, and Tranquility. So I believe those four, closely followed by SKF and IG. I think they'll probably close out the top six. No doubt there's always some pickup teams made prior to the event. And but I'd feel pretty confident with selecting those six to finish out the top six, Lock.
Yeah, well, Fortnite Noxide, I think, are a team that can definitely step up and do some damage. I've actually got Skyfire 7th. I think, I don't know why, I don't feel like they're performing as well as they could. I've actually got Mega in 6th, and 8th is Plantronics Envy. But we're going to go over and have a look at another set of predictions. Viper from Integral Nation has given me his predictions as he did come up to the Does Play office to have a bit of a chat and talk about exactly what's happening at the 10K, and I asked him what he thinks is going to happen. So let's have a look at the screen right now, and he's also put Plantronics Mind Freak up top. He's got Integral Nation in second place. He's put his own team second, which is a little bit interesting. And Avant-Garde, Benny, he's put your boys third. Up on screen at the moment. It's yeah, it's an interesting top 8. Not one that I agree with, not one that obviously you agree with, but we'll see what exactly happens. Again, guys, make sure to put your predictions either in the chat or tweet them at us, and we can have a talk of exactly what everyone thinks is going to happen at Gold Coast. Is anyone tipping that Mind Freak are going to get knocked off by Avant, by Integral, by anyone in that top 8 that we've both kind of gone with the same set of teams? Obviously, there could be an extra lot of teams coming in into the land. Some pickup teams might just come in and steal the spotlight. But yeah, well, I'm not sure.
There's some people saying through the chat at the moment as I'm reading it. Lordsome, he predicts MF to choke, so
it's a big
pretty
call.
Strong prediction there.
That's a big call.
Geez, I've never heard MF and choke in the same sentence before, so it's a brave thing to say, especially when we call him out on stream there. But yeah, it's going to be hard to knock off MF. But we did see that the last LAN there, they looked a little bit shaky, or some of the teams probably performed really well. So. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I'd like to see MF get defeated by Avant in the final, but you got to make it there first, and it's going to be a good tournament, that's for sure.
Yeah, hopefully, guys, we can get those 32 spots filled. Make sure to go and get your team passes. I know that both Mind Freak and Envy were able to secure their team passes today. We've also got True Ambition, Naga, and Air Esports already signed up to the 10K. So that's 4 spots gone. There's still 28 spots. So there's a lot of spots still left, but there's only a little while left to grab them. Make sure registration closes on the Wednesday, 22nd of July. So guys, make sure to get your passes before then, because we will not be accepting teams after that date. Make sure to get in quickly, get your registration in, get your team passes, and put your hat in the ring, I guess, to try and get a chance at this total prize. Obviously, $10,000 is the total prize. $5,500 for first, $2,500 for second place, $1,200 for third, and $800 for fourth. So if you think you can get in the top 4, then you are going to be in the money. So make sure to go and sign up to that ASAP, because guys, we definitely would like to see as much support as possible behind the 10K, because it is going to be a huge event here for Does Play, and hopefully for ANZ COD as well, and hopefully everyone gets behind it, Benny.
Yes, certainly one of the biggest events we will see in the ANZ community for quite some time. Probably it will be the biggest prize money we'll see. As you said, Does Play putting up 10K worth of cash on the line. So hopefully we get a good turnout there and see some of the yeah, good COD that we want to see. Another prediction coming through the chat here, as we like to sort of communicate with our fellow gamers. Desky predicting Iron or Avant to get that T1 spot. So not even putting Mind Freak in the top two. That's something you wouldn't probably do yourself, but. It's always good to see an upset here or there, but yeah, definitely looking forward to the 10K. Will be attending myself, and as you said, only 32 spots, so probably one of those things you want to sign up to now. You don't want to miss out on that spot to actually attend. So make sure you go to the Does Play website, follow all the instructions, and register, guys.
Yeah, make sure to do that. We've got a few predictions coming in through the chat at the moment, so we'll start reading those ones out, guys. Stubbs coming in with his top 8. He's going to be going with MF at the top, Integral second, Avant third, SKF fourth, IG fifth, Fornot sixth, Citadel seventh, and Mega in the top 8. So no Plantronics Envy in that one, so he doesn't feel like they're a good enough team to jump in the top 8, but definitely interesting predictions there from Stubbs. We're going to have a look at Uniquo. He's said that MF will come top, Avant in the second place. He'll like that one. Someone finally picking Avant over Integral. Skyfire fourth. A lot of people putting them in their top 4. Again, IG in 5th, Fornot 6th, Envy 7th, and Mega in that 8th spot. Got to say, I'm not sure what Lords said, but MF to choke and come 10th. That's very questionable, Lord.
Yeah, yeah, he's probably going to get some hate coming through Twitter at the moment, but yeah, that's
yes, that's the name
exactly
of the show.
right.
That's what you want to do.
He's called him out early on.
Well,
interesting to see Stubbs putting Citadel. They're probably one of the underrated teams, actually. I mean, they got quite a solid team. I think it's who they've got in that team. They got Kerry, they've got Dismal, Stu, who did attend Call of Duty Champs. He's the veteran of Call of Duty, he likes to be called. And I forget their 4th, it is Jim. So
I feel like that is another
prediction.
strong team, but I don't know. I think they're going to be fighting it out for a place in that top 8. I'm not sure whether they can go all the way and get to that top 4 position, but you never know. Obviously, it's a strong lineup, and they can any team can turn up on the day, and it's only 2 days of Call of Duty. If you're not playing well, and another team that's probably not as well known does play a lot better, then you're going to miss out on your chance to get to that 10K. So you're going to make sure you are playing your best at that event. So it's going to be a huge couple of days, guys, for the 10K. But we're going to go away from that for a little bit. We'll definitely come back to that. Make sure to keep putting your predictions into the chat, and we can come back to those Does Play 10K predictions very, very soon. But first, we're going to go across and have a look at the 5v5 S&D leagues that Does Play are running. The DPL is going to be currently running on Xbox and PlayStation. We're going to have a look at the Xbox side here on this one, and Week 2 results up on your screen. The Just Dance champs, Integral Nation, they were able to take out their first match in Week 1, but Week 2, Quarter Chicken, who got smashed by the Sasquatches Week 1, have definitely stepped up here in Week 2. It was a map on Biolab, so they've definitely stepped up. 16-11 was their victory, and Just Dance champs just a little bit shaky after that one. Their Elucidate against Team Storm, I believe that was a forfeit win to Elucidate. Team Storm were unable to attend their match time, so they lost due to forfeit, but that is still to be confirmed as of tonight, just to make sure. So that's a tentative forfeit there for Elucidate for their win. And the NZ Host Warriors up against the Chaos Koalas. The NZ Host Warriors attacked first, got a pretty strong attacking half, 8-7, and then were able to replicate that on their defense. So their attack was a lot stronger than my team, the Chaos Koalas, expected, and the 14-16 loss for us was not the result we expected going into that match.
Yeah, how's your team performing at the moment? Look, I did call you out on the previous event. Sorry, the previous stream. I think the first one I predicted you not to perform too well, and it's no surprise to see you guys down the bottom there. Really.
Yeah, cheers for that, Benny. I think you might
Yeah,
have
no.
jinxed us. No, I definitely didn't play my best COD in the first half, and we
Your subs are
definitely
your
paid for
better
it.
players for some reason. Yeah, your subs are the better players for some reason there. I mean, you've got Stubbs and Carey. What are you doing there? They should be on the field, but
Stubbs
yeah, no
was
surprise
playing the
seeing.
match, and Carey wanted to play the match. His net just decided it didn't want him to play the match. So obviously we did play with our lineup without Carey and without Deadly, and got 14 rounds, but it just wasn't enough for 1v1 in the final round. Could have tied it up and sent it to overtime, but unfortunately,
Who choked the 1v1?
yeah, gonna call out Stubbs there. Stubbs, mate. He was in a 1v2, and he definitely missed that one pretty badly. He got the first kill, but decided to try and plant, and planted on the wrong side of the bomb. Sorry, Stubbs, but
Yeah.
that's wrecked.
He definitely choked a lot. I've seen him play on stream a few times, so well done, Stubbs. But yeah, no surprise to see high-end Just Dance champs up the top again, unless my standing isn't up to date. They're quite a pretty strong team, and the Set Squashers, you just got to look at the names there. They're going to be pretty hard to beat. You know, Luca, Dens, Shocks, Damage, and Fate with Fighter and Swifty on the bench. Wow.
When you got Fighter and Swifty as your subs, you're probably a fairly strong team. We'll just put that out there.
Pretty well.
I think they will have. They're going to be the team to beat. Obviously, had the bye this week, so weren't able to play. They got a huge victory in their first game, and Lordsome calling out everyone in the Fives League. Bunch of 4v4s with no exo headbutting walls. Not even a 5v5 league. That's
Who is this Lordsome guy? Who is he? I've never heard of him before. And he's calling people out in streams. So
he's been washed since about Black Ops 1, so back when he played for Joy Division. So
you got to be good to be washed, Lock.
Yeah, that is true. It's that is a fair call. So that's it for the results of the DPL. Coming up in next week. Probably before the season started, probably one of the matches of the competition. INJDC, the team, the reigning champs in terms of does play 5v5 competitions on Advanced Warfare. They have been dominating. They very, very rarely lose a comp that they play in. But they're 1-1 currently. They lost their last match playing against the Sasquatches up in week 3. And that is going to be a very, very big match. The Chaos Koalas, we've got a tough match up against Team Storm. Team Storm had a bye, then they forfeited, so they haven't played a match yet after 2 weeks. They definitely need to, hopefully that works in our favour, that they haven't got a lot of match practice in, but definitely a strong squad there, captained by, I believe, Ridicule is their captain, so they definitely know what they're doing. NZ Host Warriors versus Quarter Chicken, I think that's another match that could go either way. Both teams, again, 1-1 in terms of their ladder position, and Elucidate have the bye on week 3. To have a look at exactly what map we're playing in week 3, that one is going to be on Retreat. And a little bit of a more open map. Obviously, the first 2 weeks we did play maps that were familiar to the 4v4 landscape. Obviously, Detroit and Biolab, but Retreat, you've played it on Hardpoint, and you've played it on CTF, I guess, in 4v4. But now we're going to see what they can do. Search and Destroy, very, very open B site. The A bomb, very, very difficult to push unless you use your smoke push as well, and you can pick players off up on that jump wall on the head glitches. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams play it. I'm going to endeavour to at least get one match streamed on that one.
Yeah, certainly. It is a good map actually. Lock, I played it for the first time. Well, Fives for the first time last night with some of the boys, and we did play Retreat, which was quite interesting, especially with the no exos. It's a little bit more of a challenge, but I was able to carry the boys across the line there, picking up a nice little 3-piece with my nade. And if you want some hints, please just slide into those DMs, and I can assist you. Maybe I can coach your team to a victory there, Lock. But definitely a good map to be playing some Fives on.
Yeah, I feel like that team last night when you left, they just lacked a little bit, and then I decided to slide in as a sub, and we just dominated from there. So just on the carry, really. I feel that team definitely needs to step up and just live up to the hype that is their two feelings. I guess we just jumped in and decided to play with them, Benny and Locke. We should team next season, I feel.
Maybe if you want to be carried, I'm more than willing to help you out. And
Come on,
did
Benny.
did we actually come first in the Fives League last night? Fives event, did we?
Yeah, we took it out. We just dominated. 16-5, I think,
that's
in the grand final. Just slight there. So those boys that I believe it was True Ambition that we played in that one. Sorry about the green band map choice there. So what Beaston? Beaston not happy that I didn't put him in in his top two, mate. I got you third. So I think that's going to be a pretty difficult top three to pick. But realistically, I'll pick a top 8, but it could be in any order. You really don't know. Casters trying to predict things works out about.
It's not our forte.
No, definitely not our forte. It just doesn't happen very well. The caster's curse will come into effect at some point during those predictions, and they'll completely just explode. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've got for the DPL. And tonight, guys, make sure to stay tuned into this channel. Later on, we will be tweeting out when we are streaming our Pro Series events. It is our 1-year anniversary, obviously, on Does Play. We have had some amazing times over the last year. We've been able to basically go from a 4-team tester comp over on Ghosts last year on exactly one year ago, the 13th of July 2014. That was over on Ghost, a 4-team tester comp, just to test the format out of the night comp. Decided it seemed to go well, and we just jumped straight into it. And now we've got competitions running all over the Oceanic region. Obviously, ANZ COD is pretty huge. We've run 4v4 fight for your invite for the ACL League. We've run a LAN. We've run all our Pro Series, our 2v2 stuff. We've run a 5v5 league, which is something that I think we said we would never run leagues, but we decided 5v5 needed a revival, needed a revolution like 4v4 did back in MW3. So that's pretty huge. We're starting up Smite tomorrow night, Tuesday the 14th of July. Make sure to go sign up to that Xbox One that is on the Xbox Smite launch comp. 3 teams already signed up. Jump on to that if you think you can get a team together for Xbox competitive Smite. Also, over on PC, we've got our Counter-Strike and Hearthstone comps. Both of those going on right now, our 1-year anniversary Pro Series. And there is $100 on the line for every single bracket that is being played tonight, whether that's Hearthstone, Counter-Strike, COD, on Xbox and PlayStation. So any bracket that is currently open in on Does Play has a $100 prize pool for first, and I believe the 4v4 series on Xbox currently has 45 teams, so that means there will be 2 teams winning that $100 as well, and the valuable pro points that will be going towards the 10k. Guys, we're going to go to a quick break before we wrap up the show. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll be going back to those predictions about the 10k and talking about exactly what you can expect to see at Gold Coast on the 25th and 26th of July.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna.
Will you walk the line like it's there to choose? Just forget the wins, it's the best of you.